I'm here with Pastor Ross, joining us all the way from Australia. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your testimony. I'm super excited to hear all about it, but without further ado, take it away.
My name is Ross Craig, and I am definitely only here because of God. I knew pretty much the entire time that I was not heading in the right direction. I knew that I needed to get out of the drug world, but the people in the drug world were, they made it extraordinarily difficult. And there were times when I would promise God that, get me out of this, of course, and I'll change. But Satan had such a hold. My will was his at that time.
Wow, yeah. Was there any big moment that made you think about changing your life choices?
Mum's death was completely unexpected. I had no idea what I was going to do. I met a lady at the funeral who looked me in the eye and asked, "Will we ever see you again?" I felt that she had reached into my heart with that question. Not just, are we going to see you at church again, but just, I don't know, just the eternalness of that sort of question. And when Mum and Dad had bought their plots at the cemetery, that they had bought 3, one for each of them and one for me, I discovered that her and Dad had been praying every day for 25 years for me. Both my parents went to their rest, not knowing that their prayers had been answered. I know that she will say that her death was worth it if it brought me back. She's just that kind of a mom.
Yeah, so in addition to your mom, was there anything else that impacted your journey?
I would hear people talking about this Hope Sabbath School phenomenon, and I couldn't work out what they were talking about. I'd never heard of it. And someone gave me a link. I found Hope Sabbath School amazingly informative, amazingly non-threatening. Once I found out that I could download the audio podcast, it became a very regular thing. Those scripture songs, I tell you, they are a learning technique in themselves, and they have helped me remember some key Bible verses.
Hope Sabbath School plays a huge role in getting me to where I am now.
When they first asked me to take a Sabbath School lesson, I said to them, I just don't like this idea of being rigid and following the book, because I was a teacher and I knew that method of teaching really doesn't cut it. So I really resonated with the whole interactiveness of Hope Sabbath School. To hear the team interacting with that verse as part of their testimony is just amazing. And it really brings the Bible alive.
Yeah, so I'm curious, how did you transition from being a Sabbath school teacher to becoming a pastor?
They started to suggest that maybe I would think about being a pastor, to which I laughed, literally laughed in their faces. There is no way that God could possibly ever want someone like me to stand up and preach his word. And then this idea of being a pastor just, wouldn't leave my mind. So I threw out 4 fleeces to God just to be sure. I thought I'll give him challenges that I know that he can't do, which was my big mistake. One of the most fascinating ones was I said to God, I cannot afford to go to university for 4 years, so you're going to have to give me the money. When my parents' estate was settled, interestingly, the inheritance that I received was exactly what it was going to cost to go to Avondale University for the entire length of my course. I said I needed the money up front. He delivered on that too.
Wow, God really is good. So now that you're a pastor, do you still grapple with your past?
Life is definitely on an upward trajectory. I'm not saying that it's all glory and wonderful all the time, because there are challenges. So when I'm feeling really, really down, I literally, in my mind, think about the resurrection. And what I see in my mind is Jesus returning and Mum, Dad, and I being resurrected side by side, and Mum looking towards Jesus. And then out of the corner of her eye, she sees somebody that she's not expecting to see. And that gets me through the darkest of days.
Wow, that's going to be such a wonderful reunion. So what would you tell someone who's going through the same circumstances as you experienced?
One thing I want people to take away from my story is that God is incredibly patient. God only wants what's best for you. All you have to do is be willing to accept that He only wants what's best for you. And it doesn't matter who you are, where you've been, what you've done. God will take you.
That is a powerful message. Once again, Pastor Ross, thank you so much for taking the time to share your testimony. I had a great time speaking with you.
Thank you. We'll catch you. Bye now.